This is a photo of doctors bowing to an 11-year-old boy who died from an aneurysm. They are bowing because by donating his organs, the boy saved the lives of 4 other children.
Liang Yaoyi was an 11-year-old boy from Shenzhen, China, who died from a brain tumor in 2014. He became the subject of a viral photo and story when the medical staff, moved by his profound selflessness, bowed to his body in a final act of respect.
This is a Vietnam War veteran fulfilling a promise to an old friend, keeping watch one last time. There's a biker group from Arizona who help keep victims of child abuse safe from their abusers while they're being prosecuted. The bikers guard the child's home at night if the abuser's not yet in jail. They also go to court with the child and shield them so that they don't have to look at their abuser. The day after the Titanic sank, various newspapers reported that the ship hit an iceberg, but no lives were lost. It wasn't long before they realized what terrible mistakes they had made. Just like in the movie, a group of musicians actually did continue playing as the ship went down. They could have chosen to board a lifeboat, but instead decided to calm the other passengers with their music. The chief baker on the ship, Charles Joffin, survived in the icy waters for 2 hours before he was rescued. He claimed he didn't feel cold because of all the whiskey he drank that night. 16-year-old survivor Catherine Gilnag didn't realize that it was a serious situation until she reached New York. She thought that disembarking in lifeboats and being picked up by another ship was all just part of the journey. Hidden behind Mount Rushmore is a secret vault that holds important information about the United States and its history. The room is not accessible to the public, but is otherwise left as a record for people thousands of years from now who may wonder how and why Mount Rushmore was carved. Many believe that the vault stores classified documents on suspicious topics such as Area 51. This is a photo from 1955 of a woman being ticketed for wearing a bikini on a public beach in Italy. Dated to 1504, this carved ostrich egg is the oldest known depiction of the New World. The globe shows North America as an unnamed group of scattered islands. There are also depictions of ships, monsters, and 71 named places. It even contains the sentence Hic sunt dracones, which translates to Here lies dragons. The train crash in The Fugitive was extremely dangerous and expensive to shoot because they crashed an actual train into an actual bus at full speed. Harrison Ford tore his ACL while filming the scene, and his limp throughout the rest of the movie was real. And the wreckage of the train is still sitting in the woods of North Carolina today. Stephen King famously hated the film version of The Shining, but when he saw Shawshank Redemption, he called it not just one of the best movies done for my work, but a potential movie classic. Danny DeVito not only starred in the movie Matilda, but also directed it. He also took care of the actress who played Matilda while her mother was in the hospital with cancer. He even got an advanced copy of the film for her mother to watch before she succumbed to her illness. During his time with the Air Force, the famous Johnny Cash worked as a Morse code operator. This led to him intercepting and reporting on the news from the Soviet Union that Joseph Stalin had died. In fact, Johnny Cash might have been the first American to hear of Stalin's passing.
This placed a future music legend at the intersection of music and intelligence history, making him a central figure in a pivotal moment of the Cold War. For years, the story was kept secret due to the classified nature of his work.
During World War I, the life of a 17-year-old British soldier was saved when his pocket Bible stopped a bullet. The book has been passed down through his family and still has the bullet inside, about 50 pages from the end. During World War II, there was a Nazi interrogator named Hans Scharf who never tortured his prisoners to get information. Instead, he told them jokes, brought them homemade food, and took them on nature walks. His techniques were very successful as he was known as the master interrogator of Nazi Germany. A flight attendant named Sheila Frederick noticed a terrified girl who was accompanied by an older man on a flight. Sheila discreetly told the girl to go to the bathroom, where she left a note asking if she was okay. The girl went to the bathroom and wrote, "I need help" on the note. The police were waiting when the plane landed, and the girl was saved from a human trafficker. This is a photo of a police canine being saluted by officers before entering the vet to be put down. This mother horse lost her baby while in labor. 2 days later, she was given a foal who had lost her mother, and this was the photo taken after they were introduced. A 67-year-old named Dorothy Fletcher once had a heart attack while on a flight. When a stewardess asked if there was a doctor on the flight, 15 people stood up. They happened to be on their way to a cardiology conference and the woman was saved. The blue American rabbit was developed in 1917 by Louis H. Salisbury. Although it's natural, he never revealed what breeds he used to create this variety. In 1998, Honduras built a bridge over the Choluteca River, but the water was rerouted by Hurricane Mitch that same year. This mutated octopus with 85 tentacles was captured on an island near Japan. Known for its protrusible jaw and nail-like teeth, the goblin shark has only been seen about 50 times since its discovery in 1897. In 1493, Christopher Columbus mistook manatees for mermaids and wrote, "They're not so beautiful as they're said to be, since their faces have some masculine traits." If you were to swim near a pod of narwhals and happen to hear one whistle, it might be the last thing that you ever heard. The sounds that narwhals make are so loud that they're said to be deafening to humans.
The narwhal's iconic horn is actually an elongated canine tooth that can grow up to 10 feet long.
These are what the muscles look like on a fully grown male Siberian tiger. These are what the vestigial limbs of a beluga whale look like. When sailors first explored the Arctic waters, they understandably mistook beluga whales for real-life mermaids. The great patoo is an incredibly rare tree-dwelling bird from tropical America. The bird is known for its creepy nocturnal cries as well as the fact that it looks like an alien. Dolphins love interacting with pregnant women because they communicate using ultrasound. Not only can they hear the mother's heartbeat, but also the baby's, and they find this very fascinating. For more than 20 years, a dolphin named Pelorus Jack regularly guided ships through treacherous waters until his disappearance in 1912. A man from Argentina posted this photo of a giant mosquito called a galley-nipper that his mother killed in her home. While its bite can be very painful, it's not nearly as dangerous as the smaller mosquito which can transmit yellow fever and Zika virus. Naka Cave in Thailand closely resembles a giant petrified snake. The average silverback gorilla is 4 to 9 times stronger than the average human male. They can deadlift 1,800 pounds and their grip can crush the skull of a crocodile. Masabumi Hosono was the only Japanese passenger on the Titanic and he managed to survive the sinking. But after returning to his home country, he was publicly condemned and lost his job for not going down with the other passengers. President JFK's brain has been missing from the National Archives for more than 50 years. Stanley Meyer was one of the first to invent a car that was completely powered by water. He claimed that it was capable of traveling across the country on just 72 liters of tap water, which would have revolutionized the auto industry and made gasoline obsolete. But shortly after creating the car, Stanley died while meeting with investors. His brother said he ran out of the restaurant choking, looked at him and said, "They've poisoned me." Weird War Facts, Part 22. Lieutenant Colonel Jack Churchill held 42 Nazi soldiers hostage while wielding a sword during a 1942 raid in occupied Norway. Nicknamed Mad Jack, he also had the only confirmed kill of a Nazi while using a longbow. During World War II, Dr. Eugene Lazowski saved the lives of over 8,000 Jews in the town of Rozvadov. He managed to fake a typhus epidemic that prevented the Nazis from entering the town. Several indigenous tribes on Pacific Islands thought that cargo dropped for U.S. soldiers during World War II were gifts from the gods. Once American soldiers left, many of these islanders built ceremonial planes and airstrips so that God would drop them more cargo. They're known as cargo cults, and many of them are still active today.
An intriguing aspect of the cargo cult is that it demonstrates how a seemingly rational explanation for a phenomenon built on a misunderstanding can evolve into a full-fledged religious belief system.
For a group of kids in London, England, a day of hunting for Easter eggs quickly turned into a thrilling hunt for burglars. A break-in at a nearby building brought a dramatic police helicopter chase right to them. With a chopper overhead and 2 men suddenly running through the field, the children soon realized they were witnessing a police pursuit. So they dropped to the ground and laid in an arrow formation to direct authorities in the right direction. The first known photograph of a person was taken in 1838. It only happened because a man and his shoe shiner were the only people still enough on a busy street to show up in the 10-minute exposure. In 1937, two women wore shorts out in public for the first time. They drew a massive amount of male attention and even caused a car accident. The Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest building in the world for nearly 4,000 years until the Lincoln Cathedral was built in 1311. When trains were first introduced in the US, women were afraid to ride in them. This is because many people believed that women's bodies were not designed to go 50 miles an hour, and that their uteruses would fly out of their bodies if they were accelerated to that speed. In 2015, a woman from Florida was being held hostage by her boyfriend, but luckily she convinced him to let her order a pizza using the Pizza Hut app. In the space for special requests, she wrote, "Please help, get 911 to me." Police soon arrived at the location and the abusive boyfriend was arrested. When he was 17 years old, Ozzy Osbourne was arrested for stealing women's underwear. But his father refused to pay the fine and Ozzy spent 6 weeks in jail. He later called it one of the best lessons of his life.